The girl had covered the floor with photos of the murder case, tirelessly searching for the truth day and night. Whenever she found a new lead, she immediately wrote it down on a piece of paper. The walls of her room were covered in sticky notes, all filled with clues and ideas. To keep things secret, she would draw out her next moves each day. She wasn't a detective, she was plotting revenge. 15 years ago, her father, a police officer, was returning home late one night after his shift. When he stepped out of the car, someone bumped into him by accident. By the time he regained his senses, his carotid artery had been slashed. The killer had already fled. The officer struggled to get home, using his last moments of life to look at his sleeping daughter one final time before his breath stopped. The girl had once been her father's only family. She knew that her father's last case had been chasing a serial killer. Though the suspect was quickly caught, the evidence was insufficient, and he was sentenced to just 15 years. The victims' families in the courtroom broke down in tears, and chaos erupted in the gallery. Even the officer's colleagues couldn't hold back, promising they would gather more evidence. But none of them noticed the little girl standing quietly in the corner, silently observing everything with her eyes. 15 years later, the man was released from prison. The former colleague of her father, who had been part of the investigation, was now the police chief. He had never forgotten his promise. And the little girl from back then? She had grown up. On the surface, she appeared gentle and sweet, just like an ordinary girl. But no one knew that in the privacy of her own apartment, she was tirelessly searching for answers. For 15 years, she had held back her anger, biding her time for revenge. Meanwhile, the man who had regained his freedom checked into a hotel. He had an unsettling feeling that someone was following him. Soon after, a woman who had met with him was silently killed. Even one of his old associates mysteriously disappeared at the hands of a stranger. The girl, hidden in the shadows, witnessed it all. Who was helping her from the darkness? In the span of 2 days, 3 murders occurred. The victims were all killed with a single knife strike, exactly like the murder from 15 years ago. The police chief questioned the man, but he had an alibi. On the other side, the girl was frantically searching for the answers. What was the connection between the man from 15 years ago and the man now? Suddenly, it hit her. There were 2 killers. Her guess was right, the older man and the released convict had been criminal partners. For some unknown reason, they had turned on each other. It was the older man's report that had sent the convict to prison. Now that he was free, there was bound to be a confrontation. Sure enough, one night, the older man snuck into the convict's hotel room, ready to strike. But when he looked at the bed, it was empty. The man quietly scanned the room, and with a swift motion, he pressed the switch in the bathroom.